Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cora's Quilts YouTube channel, where it's my mission to help you make stunning quilts simply. If we haven't met before, my name is Shelley Cavanna. I'm a quilt pattern and fabric designer, and I write quilting books like the Barn Star Sampler. You can find my fabric, patterns, and books at your favorite local quilt shop or online at my website at corasquilts.com. You can also find us on most major social media platforms under the handle Cora's Quilts as well. Today's video is part of a 12-month quilt-along series where we'll be working through the 20 blocks in my Barn Star Sampler book. To sew along with us, you'll need your fabric and a copy of my Barn Star Sampler book. Each of these construction videos assume that you've already starched and pressed your fabric and that you've followed the instructions in the book to cut and label your fabric pieces. If you're looking for more information about this quilt-along program or my thoughts on pre-washing or starching your fabric, you can find the link to all of the previous videos in this series in the description box below. There are no specialty rulers or templates required for any of the blocks in the Barn Star Sampler. The majority of our blocks are made using my favorite stitch and flip techniques to eliminate triangles and bias edges whenever possible. With the blocks that do feature triangles, we'll be piecing our triangle units larger than needed and trimming them down to size, so you won't need to worry about foundation or paper piecing templates either. I'll share a full list of all of the tools used in this video in the description box below, but if you'd like my entire list of our must-have and nice-to-have tools, you can find that information in our mise en place video, also linked below. This month we're working on the Friendship Star. It's a fun block and it's incredibly easy to put together. I love that this block changes things up a little bit by using a bolder background color to highlight light prints within the star. Using blocks that swap the light and dark prints creates a lot of visual interest in our completed quilt. Let's take a closer look at how this block is put together. Our Friendship Star uses the same 9-patch layout that you're probably very familiar with by now. We'll make simple corner units, side units assembled from a flying geese block and a house block, and we'll finish things off with a square-in-square unit in the center. We're using a simple pieced unit for the corners of our block. First, attach an A square to the right end of a B rectangle. Finish the unit off by attaching a C rectangle to the top. Our side sections are made by joining a flying geese unit to the top of a house unit. The two units are almost identical. They are the same width, but the house block is ½ inch taller. This builds in some negative space around the perimeter of the block without having to attach a separate border. We've already spent quite a bit of time working with stitch and flip corners, so chances are you're probably already comfortable making this first flying geese block. If you need a refresher for the method though, you can check out the video for month 1 of our Barn Star Sampler series. We've left a link in the description box below. To sum up, first mark your stitching lines on the wrong side of your A squares with a temporary marking tool. Then pin or glue baste the marked square right sides together to one end of a D rectangle. Sew on the marked line, trim the excess fabric a ¼ inch away from your seam, and then press the fabric towards A. You'll repeat the process to attach an additional A square to the opposite end, making sure that your two seam lines cross over at the top to form a peak or the goose's beak. If you like the comfort and visibility of pre-marking your stitching lines, you can absolutely continue to do so for all of the stitch and flip units in this month's block. If you're not a fan of pre-marking your lines though, or you're ready for a bit of a challenge, then consider making the house units using the lineless diagonal seam method. We introduced this video in depth in our month 5 video, but as a refresher, you need a way to project your stitching line straight out from your needle onto the bed of your sewing machine. In today's video, I'm using the Cluck Cluck Sew 1/4 inch washi tape. As a quick review of this lineless method using our house units, you can pin or glue baste your first E-square right sides together to the upper corner of your F rectangle. Then just line up that first corner with your needle and the last corner where you want your seam to end with the line on your machine bed. Carefully start sewing, keeping that final corner following the line. Trim, press, and then repeat the process to attach the additional E-square to the other end of the block. This video is sponsored by me. I love the communities that Quilt-Along programs build, and you probably already know that I have a slight obsession with sampler quilts, so I want to invite you to join me in making my brand new Yuletide sampler quilt. Starting in September, I'm partnering with the Creative Sparks online class platform as we embark on a year-long quilt-along journey to make this fun and festive wintry quilt together. Watch your quilting confidence grow with each block as we build our own winter wonderland. Every month, I'll share my tips and tricks for assembling a new block. We'll be exploring how to make Lone Star style blocks using only squares and rectangles. We'll work with the Tri-Rex ruler pair to transform triangle and square blocks into adorable evergreen trees. And we'll practice a whole variety of stitch and flip techniques to effortlessly make a variety of complex looking angular shapes. The class includes access to our monthly videos and pattern downloads, our private Creative Sparks Quilt-Along community, and discussions with me. And the best part, your course content doesn't expire, so you can enjoy sewing and working at a pace that's comfortable for you. Use the link in the description box below to enroll in the class today. We are going to have so much fun putting together this festive winter quilt. I'll see you there. Finish the last of your building blocks by using the stitch and flip method of your choice to make the center square and square unit. When you've finished piecing all of your building blocks, lay them out in that familiar 9-patch formation, 3 rows of 3 blocks. When putting together your top and bottom rows, if you followed the pressing instructions in the book, your seams will nest together perfectly. Take your precision piecing game one step further by using a pin to match the points of your side unit to the seam intersection on your corner unit to preserve those nice, crisp triangle tips. Joining the units in the middle row, again, take the time to match up your points with a pin. Make sure that your seam passes just a thread width or 2 above the spot you marked to keep your points nice and sharp. Finally, finish your block by joining the rows together and matching up all your points. We'd love for you to stop by the Quilt-Alongs page at corasquilts.com to see the 3 new and exciting Quilt-Alongs we have planned for later this fall and into 2024. And we'll see you next month with another exciting Barnstar sampler block. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Remember that you can share your Quilt-Along progress photos over on Instagram using #BarnstarSampler and be sure to tag us at Cora's Quilts so that we can see your photos too. And don't forget to grab your free Barn Star Sampler Quilt Along Block checklist. We've left a link to download it in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Happy sewing, and we'll see you soon with another Barn Star Sampler tutorial.